Hey there, internets. This is Kyle with another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well today. I think we're on day 88 of this journey from $0 to $1 million and starting a new online business from scratch and doing it part-time because I still got a full-time job and bills to pay and kids to feed. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And on today's episode, let's talk about where I'm at. So number one, I am making a little more progress on setting up things through Thinkific, which is the platform I've decided to try to push into for launching my business, the online business, and to include some generic homepage as well as course pages. I think I will just go ahead and throw out at least one course to start with. And you can also set up membership plans, membership sites or whatever, offering whatever stuff to subscribers of your content. And so I even went so far as discontinued my magnetic marketing gold membership, which is $99 a month, $100 a month. Discontinued that. Not to say that it was not really worth it. I mean, I think it's valuable content that they provide, and I don't know. I guess $100 is a little steep, but for the experience and the content that goes into those articles, I think it can be pretty valuable. But honestly, it's really more so tailored for people that already have well-established businesses and are kind of looking for tweaks and ways to sort of up the game and that sort of stuff, whereas I'm just trying to get this thing off the ground and get launched into orbit, and then I can worry about maintaining orbit from that point forward. And honestly, I think I've learned enough to know the basics of what I need to get done to get this thing launched. Not to say I'm guaranteed to have immediate success or anything, but just the mechanics of how you have to do things. I mean, it's not hard to understand, and you just got to put the pieces in place. And from a marketing perspective, the main focus will be on generating a bunch of free content of my tutorial type of videos, which has already generated some traffic through YouTube, but then start using that traffic to push people to the landing pages that I'm again creating through Thinkific to either buy a course or to join a membership. So I need to kind of map out again what exactly they get with a membership, but just have to work on that. In terms of coming up with a course idea though, and I might have mentioned this previously, but I thought about basically having a course teaching the class that I used to teach, which is what the YouTube channel that I already have that still gets traffic is about, which is electric circuits. And I just thought, well, I'll just make a course. Actually, we're on the YouTube channel, it's mostly just example problems, which I was using as more supplemental material to the actual course I was teaching. So I was figuring, well, for a paid course, I could actually just teach the lessons and maybe have additional problems worked out aside from whatever the free ones I have that I put up on YouTube. And that could be a paid course. So then, related, but I didn't exactly stumble upon this in thinking about my course, but if you've been tracking things over the past couple of weeks in the technology, artificial intelligence space, I think relatively recently there was a launch of it's an open source program. I haven't read the details of who's working it or if it's a university-based thing or whatever, but called, I think it's Open Source AI, but they released a chat bot that you can use to chat with, and it's an AI bot. So it's been trained on all the things of the world, I guess. I don't know if they just plug the internet into it or something and learns the internet or however these things work. I'm not an AI expert. But in any case, I kept seeing in my social media things, people posting random, which I don't follow a ton of people on social media, but even the handful of people I do on the business side were starting to post things look what I typed into the prompt I gave this chat bot, and here's the response it gave me. And basically trying to illustrate the point that these things are very sophisticated, and the responses that they are generating are actually make a lot of sense usually, and are kind of spot on with what you would expect a knowledgeable individual to respond to whatever your prompt was. And it's pretty wild. Even I've seen Alex Rosie post on it, and if it gets him excited, I think that's, in my book, means it must be pretty significant. So anyway, as I was just sitting around today with the family, thought I'd check out what this thing's all about. And so it's very easy. You just go to the website. I think it's opensourceai.com and create an account, and then boom, you can just log into this chatbot and start prompting it to respond in whatever ways you want. And I don't know what the first thing I put in there was, but let me see one second. So let's just go and look at the chatbot interface real quick. Pretty boring interface, just like a chat window. So if we take a look at an example that I started this whole thing out with, I prompted it with write a sales letter for a circuits course by a PhD engineer. And like within seconds, it pumped out this whole sales letter right here. And it's not super lengthy, of course, but hits a lot of the main points. Are you interested in learning more about circuits and how they work? Do you want to gain a deeper understanding? If so, our circuits course taught by a PhD engineer is perfect for you. It talks about what the course is, and it fills in, common topics for what a circuits course would have. It makes up something about, you also have the opportunity to put them into practice with hands-on lab exercises and projects. I mean, that's not really true, but it's a reasonable guess for what I was asking. And our course is taught by a highly qualified and experienced PhD engineer who is passionate about teaching. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions, engage in discussions, and get personalized feedback on your progress. So if you're ready to take your understanding of circuits to the next level, sign up for our course today. You'll come away with a deep understanding of the principles and theories behind circuits and the practical skills to apply what you've learned. So, I mean, from, traditional sales letter techniques, it's probably not the best copywriting, but I think it's definitely like a good set of words, set of sentences you could easily plug into a more lengthy sales letter. And again, that was generated in like seconds. What did I ask? Oh shit, wrong window. Okay, so anyway, I guess there's a limitation on the amount of times you can actually query the website, so I can't show you anymore. That kind of sucks. But anyway, something else I put in there was write a syllabus for a circuits course, electrical circuits course, and boom, spat out. Which I guess when I do actually have old syllabuses I could use, but I just spit out what would you say would it be a good overall syllabus for an electric circuits course, and it covered over like a 6-week time frame, all the subjects, which were all accurate in terms of what I teach in the circuits course. So there were a couple other things. I asked it to explain to me what an RLC circuit is, and it got it pretty accurate. And also, like, where would you use an RLC circuit? Again, pretty accurate response. A few other things I just put in there to query, and it's amazing how accurate and, again, realistic it comes back as, in terms of you read it and you don't think, oh, this is some like just computer generated technobabble that doesn't, it's like kind of maybe has the right keywords, but it's not, like fluid dynamic language. I don't know how to describe it. But this actually is, again, this is something that if you were literally chatting with a real person who's an expert in the question you were asking, the response you get is something that a real person would probably type back. So I find that pretty fascinating. And certainly this is not new. I think there are other companies that actually have like paid versions of this type of thing. And even I've seen some that are, specifically target for writing, like social media content, or for writing, you're doing copywriting for sales messages and other things, because it can just, churn out tons and tons of words like extremely rapidly. And again, it's like if that gets you the 80% solution, and maybe you either just use that as is, or if you want to massage it to get the extra 20%, spend a little time, for probably a lot less time, to get it to closer to what you actually would like to say or how you would like to say it. Then again, at the end of the day, you've saved yourself a ton of time and brain power of just coming up with the words to put on the page. And so I guess it'll be interesting to see again how this can change the dynamic of the internet and of the social media age that we're in, which I guess is what a lot of people are kind of not worried about, but just discussing a lot more. I think the problem, and even not to include just language from an AI, but online places I know you can go to, you like type in a phrase of a picture you want to see, and an AI will like draw you a picture. So you're going to get and people might say it's art. I don't know. They're usually fairly abstract images, and then you have the whole like deep fake situation with videos where, again, if you train an AI on watching somebody's facial expressions and the way they talk, you can then use that to generate a replica of that person saying something entirely different. And again, if you've seen any of those things online, you know that they look pretty realistic. So now think about big mega corporations that have all the monies to leverage these types of tools in significant ways. Like think about the power ultimately that I guess it gives them by allowing them to even more rapidly produce, churn out new content, build out, their brand even to greater lengths than they might already be doing. Probably cut a bunch of their workforce because they don't need 1,000 writers anymore. Maybe they only need 100 writers that work with these AI bots to generate 90%, and then the writers just kind of go in and tweak things accordingly, right? And then maybe at some point that number could go down to 10, and 10 people could be in charge of millions and millions of posts about some brand's content or whatever, right? And again, in the whole internet age, the brands the more you are known, the more you'll drive business towards you. So that, of course, only makes the big corporations even bigger. Again, further squishing down any mom and pop type of businesses, even beyond what they are even today, right? And then again, think about the power of influence when, if you're a political candidate or whatever, and again, you want your message to be as widely distributed as possible, but you only have so much time in the day. But you use one of these AI bots, if it's, maybe tuned to your specific messaging, you can just churn out messages and whatever speeches, whatever you need, like day after, hour after hour, just spitting stuff out, posting stuff across the social medias. The whole point of social media is like, not every post you're going to make is going to get a lot of views, but if 1 out of 100 gets a lot of views, well, what if I post 100 a day or 1,000 a day or whatever the number is across like all your social media channels? Well, then now I'm just, 10xing my opportunity to get something that goes viral and gets more attention brought to me as a candidate and whatever my views are. But I guess my open question is like, does that fundamentally break then the power that social media has over our society today? At some point I would think there's got to be, I guess, I don't, who knows, but I would think there's got to be some point at which people just kind of like, everything I see on Facebook is just computer garbage spitting out at me, and I would just rather not see that, and they'll just give it up, I guess. Wouldn't that be great? But I don't think that's going to happen. So the masses will probably still be influenced. There will obviously always be fringe people fringe people that will learn that lesson and decide to get off of it or move to something different. Of course, how do you move anywhere else? Because if you've got AI bots churning out language it's indistinguishable from human language, then any other platform that maybe would come along down the road saying, oh, we're going to prevent any of that AI computer-generated stuff to be on our platform. Like, how would they do that? It's like impossible. Words are words. You put words together in the right way, you can't tell if a computer did that or if a human did that. So we're screwed, I guess. I don't know. End of the world, doomsday, apocalypse, whatever. But for me, in starting a business, I think it's super helpful because it will hopefully save me time. And I'm all about that because I just need to make money right now. And I don't have a lot of time to do it. So I will take advantage of it where I can and use it as needed. If I could generate entire video scripts for a given video. Like say I choose a topic. I'm going to talk about what an RLC circuit is. What if I say, write me a script for a 5-minute video on what is an RLC circuit? So I should prompt it for that whenever I get access again. If it legitimately pumps out, I don't know how many words that would be, 1,000, 2,000 words, maybe 10,000 words. Pumps out that amount of content that I could just literally just start reading that, have highly polished verbiage ready to go, don't have to make a ton of edits, don't have to spend the time thinking about what the words are that I want to say, blah, blah, blah. Oh, one of the things I did prompt it to was like, what are the top 10 best productivity hacks? All these lists that everybody has, here's my top 3 tips for this, that, or whatever. I pumped one of those in there on productivity. What are your top 10 things? He spat out incredibly rapidly a list of 10 things, how you could increase your productivity. And again, all of them made sense. All of them things that you would probably say, that would probably increase productivity. So again, you could generate a list and create a YouTube video just talking about this list of 10 things. And that could be your whole framework. You build a course just around how you actually do each one of those 10 things. I don't know, does this again break the whole course creation paradigm if anybody with a computer can just get on there and start generating this stuff and then trying to make courses about it, right? And of course, yes, marketing is important and all that, so it's not going to kill everything, but it's just interesting. Just me pontificating here. This is more, again, my own diary to myself. I'm just talking out loud for purposes of soothing my own brainwaves or something. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you are all doing well. Keep on kicking ass and taking names. And I'll see you next time. Peace.